What's going on, team? It's Caddy with Money Vesting. So I hope you guys can hear me okay. I know there's not a lot of people who have joined yet, but let me see. All right, so it should be working now. Can you guys hear me? What's up, Jason? How you doing, man? Can you hear me okay? What's going on, Cole? So I hope you guys can hear me okay. Hey, Nina. Perfect. Yeah, hey, Teddy. How's it going? I hope you guys are having a great day and a great night. Right now, it's at about 11 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So the markets do open around this time when I'm usually going to bed because I did travel this past week. And, I had a flight from Boston to Chicago to now India. That's where I'm at right now. And usually the markets open at 8 p.m. and they close at 2:30 in the morning. And that's when I work on my market update. And then I try to put that out later tonight. I'll do that around 5:30, 6 p.m. Expect a market update. We're going to go over our regular 10 to 12 stocks. But in this video, I figured I'd go live for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. We'll see how everything goes. The markets are hitting new all-time highs. We are so close to the NASDAQ at 14,000. Look at this. We're almost there. 13,936. We're up another 0.5%. The futures were up last night. We did another live stream. We went over the VIX, some other price to earnings, EPS ratios for the S&P 500. And we were also talking a little bit about the resistance levels to watch for a lot of different stocks. We covered CCIV, Switchback Energy Corporation. We covered Plug Power. But in this video, I want to go over AMD, Square, Tesla, some of those other tech stocks, growth stocks we're going to go over. And I hope you guys enjoy this stream. It's going to be about for an hour. And if you have any stock suggestions, if you have any questions that you want to ask for any tickers or any technical analysis questions, let me know. And I'll definitely make sure to cover that in this video as well. And also, I do have a small announcement. So we finally did launch our Patreon. So I know that you guys have been asking for it in the comment section. There's been so many people asking for a way to kind of donate towards my work, make a contribution. So we do have one. The link is going to be down in the description below. It should be down there. And it's basically split between 3 different tiers. The first one is you guys get access to my TradingView charts, right? The whole point, the whole goal that I'm trying to accomplish here is to give you as much value as possible, right? My goal is to work tirelessly to give you as much value and as much information I can to make you guys and help you guys with your investing or trading journey, right? So with the tier 1, you'll get access to our Discord. You'll get access to my TradingView pattern charts that will automatically sync every time I make some changes. If I have some trend lines that I'm going to be putting, support resistance levels, whatever the case may be, it'll sync automatically. Tier 2, you guys will get access to sort of like a new growth portfolio that I just started for about $25,000. I just started that, I think, last week, and I have 2 positions in that, and I'm going to be consistently adding more positions. I'm going to be buying more stocks in that portfolio. It's going to be a growth portfolio, and the whole goal is to get at least 20 to 25% returns on that portfolio every single year and do that consistently over and over and over again. And another interesting and fun thing in that tier is going to be that you will be able to get a technical analysis on one stock of your liking per month from me. So you'll get a very personal connection. I will be able to do a technical analysis on a stock for you guys. And that's going to be for tier 2. And tier 3 is going to be a Zoom meeting with myself for once a month for about an hour. And that's also going to be included. So all of that is going to be down in the description below. So talking about NASDAQ, again, we are up over 60 basis points, trading all the way as high as 13,939. SPX, that's going to be the S&P 500, also pushing higher, making a new all-time high, trading all the way as high as 3,903. So definitely a lot of momentum coming in for both of these market indices. We are in the green. Palantir up over 9%. Square up over almost 8%, hitting a new all-time high. And Square, we also covered in my morning's video that I put out for Tesla, because they came out and said that they were going to be investing close to $1.5 billion in cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin more specifically. And this right here is going to be their SEC filing from January that I want to quickly break down. But that's one of the reasons why Bitcoin is up, Tesla is up, and Square is up, right? So we're seeing a lot of momentum because I also mentioned that Square and Tesla's stock price is now going to get tied. To some extent, it's going to get tied to cryptocurrencies because when cryptos move up, we've also seen a very similar reaction for Square as well, right? So if I go over to the 4-hour chart for cryptocurrencies, you'll notice that going back as far as January 8th, Crypto was trading as high as $41,000 per coin. We dropped another 26%, trading all the way to lows of 30,000, right? So if you were to go over to Square, that's going to be ticker symbol SQ, you'll notice a very similar pattern, right? Going back as far as January 7th, January 8th, we dropped close to over 18, almost 19%. Square came down all the way down to the support at $200, and now we're seeing a very reversal pattern, right? Bitcoin's up, Square's up, hitting new all-time highs with a huge breakout over $246 per share. So definitely a lot of momentum coming in for Square as well. So first thing, we're going to break over Nvidia. Also, yes, you're right, Nvidia also phenomenal breakout, and something that we have covered in my previous updates. These right here were going to be some resistance levels we were watching. Right now we are tagging that resistance at about $580 per share. So that's going to be the red rectangle, and again, all of that is going to be covered in my daily market update that I will be posting later tonight, right? That's going to be 6:30 p.m. Eastern that I will be posting that. It's going to cover about 10 to 12 stocks that we cover on a regular basis. I'm also going to include Square and AMD on there as well. Amazon, definitely having a brutal day. I think it's down over 1%. Yep, so 1.29%, definitely trading as low as 3,300. We are again tagging our 50 EMA. So it's going to be very interesting for us to see whether that level gets validated, whether that support gets validated, and we continue to trade inside this yellow rectangle, or if you can see a further breakout to the upside. I think this is all coming in because of the fact that Jeff Bezos decided to step down as CEO, but he's still going to be the executive chairman. So I really think that Amazon, considering that they have provided an absolutely killer earnings report with double-digit growth rates, AWS with a strong growth, they're going to continue to do well, in my opinion. This stock, no way they're going to be trading at such a low price of sales. They generated close to $400 billion in revenue in fiscal year 2020. Now, I know that their revenue for like their e-commerce and retail business the margins are very small. I think it's only 3.5, close to 4%, but like, if you were to look at their AWS growth, it's very, very substantial, right? Over 25-30% margins for Amazon. And, they're only trading 4 times sales. I mean, 400 billion last year, and they're only trading at 1.6 trillion. This stock, in my opinion, in 2020, I strongly believe it's going to see at least $4,000, if not more than that. So I'm very, very bullish. I have about 5 shares in my main portfolio for Amazon right now. And again, the growth portfolio is going to be the new one that I'm going to be sharing with everyone. And I have 2 positions in there, and I'll be adding more stocks. We'll be analyzing a lot of different stocks. So this right here has created so many watch lists, and this growth watch list is going to be specifically that I've kind of isolated some stocks that I want to go over. These are all going to be tickers that we're going to do a lot of deeper dive with both fundamental and technical analysis for us to understand whether or not it makes sense for us to invest in these companies. And we're going to do a technical analysis to understand and find out where is going to be the key optimal entry point based on support, resistance levels, different moving averages, the different technical indicators that we cover, and when can we see a potential breakout to the upside, making new all-time highs for these stocks as well. So I'm going to quickly go over this SEC filings. You'll notice in January 2021, this is Tesla. So we updated our investment policy to provide us with more flexibility to further diversify and maximize returns on our cash. So when they say that they want to maximize returns on our cash and they want to further diversify, that is a huge kind of like a validation for cryptos, and more specifically for Bitcoin, because if they're investing $1.5 billion in Bitcoin, that's a huge validation that they believe, Elon Musk and Tesla believes, that Bitcoin has value and it's going to be worth a lot more because they want to maximize returns on their cash. Because if you were to just hold on to so much money, like Apple, close to over $100 billion in cash. And the US dollar has been nothing but losing value, right? Since March, we know that it's down over 10%, and it's kind of depreciating against other currencies, more specifically the euro, right? The euro contains over 59-60% of the DXY index. That's going to be the US dollar currency index. And if the dollar keeps depreciating, we're losing purchasing power. And if inflation starts to creep up, we're losing even more purchasing power. So that right there, in my opinion, is Elon Musk is basically seeing that somewhat of a hedge against the US dollar, and they want to maximize returns on their cash. That is not required to maintain adequate operating liquidity. As part of the policy, which was duly approved by the audit committee of board of directors, we may invest a portion of such cash in certain alternative reserve assets, including digital assets, gold bullion, gold exchange traded funds, and other assets specified in the future. Thereafter, we invested an aggregate $1.5 billion in Bitcoin under this policy and may acquire or hold digital assets from time to time or longer term. Moreover, we expect to begin accepting Bitcoin as form of a payment for our products in the near future, subject to applicable laws and initially on a limited basis. So again, a very, very bold move for them to be able to accept payments in in cryptos as well. And I'm not too familiar with kind of like the logistics of how the taxation works, how decentralized it is, how, or is it like considered unqualified income? Because I know from an investment standpoint, Ark Invest can only invest so much money in Bitcoin because for them it's considered as unqualified income, and there's no way for actually report the income earned or capital gains earned from Bitcoin. So that right there is somewhat of a gray area that I'm not completely sure about. How is that going to play out? But Tesla on the day, you'll notice, definitely kind of rocketing on this news. It was up even more pre-market. It was up over 2% and it tagged $877 per share. And right now we are up close to 1.5%, trading all the way as high as $865 per share. So I'm going to quickly check where we stand with the number of people watching and the likes and everything else. So 145, 28 likes. So if you guys enjoy this, please make sure that you drop a like. It really helps out the channel. So definitely let's see if you can get up to 50 likes at least. And I really do appreciate you guys. So next up, we're going to talk about Square very, very quickly. So Square also rallying higher, and we're also going to talk about Palantir. But this right here is going to be Square stock rides up on Bitcoin surge. Stock gains as Bitcoin drives up past 43,000 after Tesla said it invested in cryptocurrencies and will accept Bitcoin for payment on a limited basis. So that's exactly what we read from the SEC report. And we're also going to break down Palantir as well in a little bit. Apple is going to be in my daily market update, which I will release later tonight. So keep a close eye on that video as well. So thank you so much for your guys' support. Again, I really do appreciate it. And I see some very, very nice comments coming in. So Bitcoin has risen about 14% to 43,000 after sliding below 32,000 in late January. The fintech purchased 50 million of crypto in October, and that's exactly what we saw, right? And in October, they invested about 50 million in Bitcoin, and then in January, we saw the drop for the cryptos, and of course, Square took a big hit as well. Since 2018, and the Square Cash app has also allowed customers to trade Bitcoin. Another very, very important reason why a lot of people have essentially moved to Square and PayPal so that they can actually invest in cryptos. But one of the important things to remember is that Cash App and even PayPal, so you'll notice that PayPal introduced its own service for trading Bitcoin, don't actually give you a digital wallet, right? So again, I'm not too familiar with all that, the keys and everything that works. So they don't give you a individual wallet, so it only allows you to buy and sell cryptos, but it doesn't allow you to actually send or receive Bitcoin as well. So this right here is going to be the chart for Square. You'll notice we're seeing a huge breakout, but the following four hour candle, we are seeing some type of a pullback, right? So this right here is going to be the new all-time high, sitting as high as $264 per share. Definitely a lot of momentum for Square moving forward, and we are once again trading outside of this uptrending channel. So you'll notice that we kind of tagged that higher high before having a huge breakout. And if I were to bring out the volume, you'll notice that the volume is substantially higher than what we have seen in the past, right? So the volume is sitting well over 12 million, almost 12 million shares, and we still have close to about 3 hours left for the markets to close. The average 10-day volume is sitting roughly at 8.7 million. So definitely this breakout is sustained. This breakout is confirmed with a huge amount of volume coming in. So, I mean, ideally, without this piece of news, we would have expected Square to get rejected here because this is a triple top resistance, right? So double top resistance, this would have been a triple top resistance at 245, 246. Another kind of validation would have been this higher high inside that uptrending channel. So you'll notice that Square has been trading sort of like inside that uptrending channel, right? This right here was a perfect validation of that support that we had identified in my previous videos. Again, going back as far as January 28th, Square kind of validated 194, 195, and since then we are up close to over 35%. So a lot of momentum for Square moving forward. But considering the RSI and the MACD, it's no surprise that it's becoming a little bit on the overbought side. So keep a close eye on that as well. Now, of course, if you're someone who's starting a new position at these levels, I would be very cautious personally because the RSI is a little bit overbought. The MACD also aggressively pushing higher, and it just traded as high as 264, and we are seeing some type of a pullback. So if we close at these prices, which in my opinion we would probably close above 245, 250. I will go ahead and turn that into a support, but again, I will do that until the markets close because nothing is for sure during market hours, right? A lot can happen. That's exactly why we need to wait for all these candlesticks to actually close. Because I've personally, when I looked at the 1 minute chart, the 5 minute chart, you can have a candle trade all the way down here, and then at the last 10 seconds or the last 15 seconds, there's going to be a lot of buyers come in, push it all the way, create an inverted hammer, create a long wick, and then that could signal a trend reversal, right? So we always wait for the candles to close, depending on which candles you're looking at, 1 minute, 5 minute, 4 hour, 1 day. We let the candles close, which is why I really like analyzing the patterns and the charts after the markets are closed. So there's not a lot of trading activity going on. So that right there is going to be the complete technical analysis for Square. Keep a close eye at 244, 245. That's going to be the support moving forward. And the next up, we're going to be talking about AMD. So Advanced Micro Devices, AMD also on a huge breakout today. So you'll notice that we are pushing higher, up almost 4%. And breaking out of over $88 per share. This right here was a resistance we were kind of struggling to break out of. AMD, for one, we've broken down their earnings in my previous videos, and a lot of growth for AMD, right? It's no surprise that Lisa Su has turned the company around. I can't believe that this was a stock that was trading at $2 or $4 a share not too long ago, and it basically had rallied in 2020, and they've seen substantial growth, 37-40% growth in top line revenues. Margins are growing substantially, over 46%. And they're expecting another increase of 2 percentage points in 2021. And they are expecting revenues of well over $13 billion. So very, very undervalued in my opinion. So I'm holding AMD in. Actually, this is one of the stocks in the growth portfolio that I will be sharing. I only have 2 stocks right now. So the Visa is going to be one of them, and AMD is going to be the second one. And I have about, I think, 80 shares of AMD in this new growth portfolio that I just started that I'm going to be sharing with the patrons and all the Patreon members. And then Visa is going to be another stock that we're going to be looking into. And then, of course, we've got a whole list of a lot of different stocks we're going to look into. And I'm going to be sharing PDFs of my fundamental and technical analysis, which are going to be somewhat in this format. So this right here is going to be kind of like the format. So this is an article that actually came out today from Forbes that goes over a lot of different stocks. So they give you very brief fundamental analysis and a whole technical analysis on the stocks. So this is Advanced Micro Devices, Semiconductor, upstart. Advanced Micro Devices also top buy for the second week in a row, biggest winner in 2020, and continues to not only compete with but also beat semiconductor leaders such as Intel. We know what happened with Intel. They were kind of delayed with their chips, and AMD kind of capitalized on that opportunity, gained a lot of market share from Intel. AMD stock saw a pullback despite reporting record earnings. However, their trajectory is still looking quite impressive. Revenues, like I said, it was just shy of $10 billion in fiscal year 2020 compared to just $500 million 3 years ago. So substantial growth in top line revenues. Operating income was also close to $1.3 billion. So they do have a lot of margins for AMD as well. And EPS jumped to $2.06 right here in the last fiscal year compared to 32 cents 3 years ago. So a lot of growth potential for AMD. And again, I will turn that into a support after the markets close, right? Again, we don't know if AMD is going to be able to successfully close above $88. But again, the volume is, in my opinion, substantially higher, well over 28 million, almost 29 million. And the average 10 days, 46 million. And we still have about 3 hours left for the markets to close. And right now we are pushing higher once again, now up over 4.5%, almost 4.5%. So here, let me see if I can bring up the... So I'm going to see if I can actually share my phone. I don't know if I can do that with this live stream. But here, let me try this. So all right, so let's see if this works. All right, so this right here is again going to be the growth fund. So you guys will notice the middle one is going to be the growth fund that I just started. And this is what I'm going to be sharing with all the Patreon members. Again, if you want to sign up, you don't have to, but there's going to be a lot of value that I'm going to be offering in that, right? So you'll get access to my TradingView charts. You'll get access to this portfolio. Right now, I only have Visa and AMD. I picked up some shares. For AMD, I have just about 89 shares, close to 90 shares. And we're up close to 1.8%. Now, this is a stock that I do plan on holding a little bit longer. And again, like I said, I mean, I could see the stock well over $120 in 2021, right? They do have a lot to offer. And the second one is going to be Visa, up just over 5% on this one. Very small position on Visa right now, just about 7 shares. So overall, we are up on this portfolio just a little bit over $200, considering that I just started this last week. And I did pick up some more shares on this. So we will be kind of expanding on this portfolio moving forward. So we do have close to about So growth fund. So we do have about 15,000 in buying power in this portfolio. So we will be kind of expanding on that moving forward, right? So definitely this is going to be part of that. And then you'll get access to like the trading view charts. And then of course the Discord that we have. So NEO, I will break down NEO in my daily market update. So again, NEO, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Nvidia, they're all going to be broken down in my analysis from later tonight. So I will be doing that for sure. I do have to be up till like 3 in the morning to wait for the markets to close and then kind of go out there and start making the videos. But let's see. All right, we got 276 people, 83 likes. Can we get to at least 200? Can we get to at least 100 likes? Come on, you guys. I know that you guys can do this. So definitely make sure that you hit the like button. I really, really do appreciate you guys' support. And it wouldn't be possible without you guys, right? So let's see some of the live chat comments. Yes, backwoods, I will be sharing my trading view. All the charts are going to be very automatically synced. So I will be able to kind of, if I make changes, it will sync perfectly to your charts as well. So Dan, that's a great question. So options is something that I've actually don't have much experience with. I do have a lot of people asking me about options, and that's something that I do want to eventually get into, right? It's not going to be something that it's going to be part of our growth portfolio right now, but it's something that I want to get into, and I'm more so going to be very focused on selling covered calls, selling covered puts, because that gives us the opportunity to take advantage of both sides of the trade. And if I want to buy something, let's say Apple, I want to buy Apple at $100, I can basically sell puts, and I can actually have the right to buy Apple at 100 shares at that price point, which if it were to drop, I would ideally be buying Apple at that price point anyway. So selling the puts gives me the premium, and of course, it allows us to take advantage of the volatility as well. So that's something that is not going to be included right away, but I do have plans of doing that in the future, definitely. So good morning, good evening. Thank you for joining in. Anna, thank you for joining. I do sleep. Happy Monday. So yeah, I do sleep. It's about 12 a.m. in India right now. Let's see what time it is. So it's about 11:33 p.m. in India. So I'm going to wait till the markets close till 2:30 in the morning, and then I'm going to put the market update out, and then I'll probably go to bed after that. So Justin, it's about 11:30 p.m. I did travel this past week. I went from Boston to Chicago, and then I'm currently in India. So Palantir, thanks for reminding me, Rita. We're going to go over Palantir. So ticker symbol PLTR, absolutely surging higher, up over 8%. And this right here is going to be the breakdown for Palantir. So they actually closed a deal with IBM. So Palantir stock shoots up after IBM partnership on AI offering for businesses. So Palantir, another stock that we've included in our daily market updates, almost every day, and is also one of the stocks that was not heavily shorted, but it was relatively decent amount of short squeeze or short float for Palantir. And of course, with everything that's going on in the markets around GameStop and AMC, we saw a very similar pattern for Palantir as well, because it essentially rallied all the way to highs of $45, right? So coming in from $25 all the way to $45, that was a jump of over 70%, right, during that exact week. So, and then the following candle, you'll notice that it dropped over 18%. So in my opinion, $45 was a little bit of an overstretched from a fundamental standpoint. And right now the market cap's sitting well over 64 billion. So I'm going to bring up that article once again, but this right here, huge catalyst. And this is what we've been waiting for Palantir, right? As more and more contracts they win over time, with governments, commercial clients, because they've got the both Foundry and Gotham product that they're going to be selling, the better Palantir is going to look like in the future, right? And we've talked about, actually somebody brought up Lockheed Martin in our Discord this morning, and I basically mentioned that, it's a great dividend play, but in terms of growth, since it's a government contractor, the growth is not as substantial as some of the other stocks that we've looked into. For Palantir, it's a little bit different because they're also kind of diving into commercial. It really depends on how much their commercial business grows over time. But you'll notice how they reported Monday that after the big data software company announced a partnership with International Business Machines, so it's going to be IBM, and open artificial intelligence applications for businesses, the companies will use IBM's hybrid cloud data platform and Palantir's operations platform for building applications to launch the Palantir for IBM Cloud Park for data, which will be available in March 2021. So definitely a lot of momentum and a catalyst coming in. And let me actually see if I have my chart available. It's not going to be on that one. And I will definitely look into Riot. I know that Riot and Mara are two Bitcoin stocks that a lot of people have been asking for. Maybe I'll do like a fundamental and technical analysis. Maybe that can be, one of the stocks that you guys can ask for in the Patreon. But I'll definitely do an analysis on that as well. NEO, I will do that in the daily market update. I can give you guys a quick update on NEO after Palantir to kind of go over that. But NEO definitely pushing higher, right? I think it's up over 3% on the day. So yep, almost 4%. And that's one of the things that we had discussed in my previous videos. I actually put out a video over the weekend and we broke down 3 different patterns, right? We broke down the uptrending channel, we broke down the cup and handle, and we broke down the bullish flag, all of which we're going to go over in just a minute. But Palantir, let me see if I have it. It's not over here. All right, it's going to be over here. So Palantir is kind of tagging that resistance, right? So you'll see that we're seeing such a big inverted hammer candle, and that's exactly what I was talking about when we were talking about candlesticks and letting them close, right? So you'll notice such a big wick, right? We were trading as high as $39.22. We sold off all the way down to $37 right now. As of the time of this video, that's where we're trading. So that basically means that a lot of sellers basically came into the market, and we basically are closing below where we opened. That's exactly why this is a red candle. So on the day, you'll notice that it's a green candle, right? It's a green day. It's up over 8%, but this is a red candle. So if I were to double click this and if I uncheck this box, so that says color bars based on previous close. So if I check this, it turns green, right? So you guys can see that. So if I uncheck it, it'll turn red. And that basically means that we opened much higher and we're closing at a much lower price. That just goes to show that there's selling pressure. People could be taking profits off the table. They could be selling in order to lock in profits, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So a huge gap on the daily candle, and in my opinion, moving forward, this right here most certainly needs to get filled for Palantir, right? That right there is there's a gap on the daily candle that Palantir needs to fill. So talking a little bit about it from the 4-hour standpoint, huge breakout. There were a couple validations of this support. So $33, I will go ahead and turn that into a support after the markets close. Again, that's going to be included in our daily market update. But this right here was so much consolidation, right? A lot of consolidation here before having a huge breakout. And now once again, tagging that resistance at 39.58, almost 39.20. That's going to be this level right here, the horizontal resistance that we'd identified. And we are kind of selling off. So definitely a big catalyst for it. The RSI pushing higher, 64, not too overbought yet, and the MACD line does seem like it has some more room to the upside. So it's going to be very interesting for us to see how Palantir kind of sustains these gains rest of the week. I could expect some minor pullbacks, but it's going to be very, very interesting. So volume again, much higher, over 56 million. The average 10 day is about 80 million. So we still have about 3 hours left to close. So I'm assuming it's going to be much higher than the average 10 day volume for Palantir as well. So we're going to quickly go over NEO because NEO is pushing higher, but I think we're still getting rejected at $60. Yep. So we're still getting rejected at 59. So that right there is the rejection, the resistance. Otherwise, my alert would have gone off. So this right here, again, a huge resistance. You guys know a lot of consolidation here. We're still kind of tagging $54.50 right here. This was actually pre-market today. I don't even know that. So pre-market, we were kind of selling off. Actually, we're coming from, so that's going to be the higher low. So you'll notice how perfectly we're kind of getting aligned. So that right there is going to be the ascending support. But this right here was actually a retest of, no, this is the market open. Oh, no, this is something else. So you'll notice that the huge wick in red, this is like, probably someone has like some sell orders or like limit orders. So you'll notice how a huge red wick, right? That is unusual. And that happens very often for a lot of stocks. So you'll notice that on the 4-hour chart, it does show like a huge wick that kind of tagged the $54 or $55 support right here before pushing higher. But in reality, that was like a sell limit order or something like that that could have gotten triggered at those levels, and then we continued on pushing higher. But $59, you'll notice that the high for the day, $59.50, we got rejected at that level. NEO still has a pretty big gap that it needs to fill from this uptrending channel. So you'll notice that we are still kind of trading inside this uptrending channel, right? So higher highs and higher lows pushing higher. It needs to break out over 59 so we can start trading inside this yellow rectangle, right? So it's still got a substantial breakout that needs to happen. On the volume, you'll notice it's just about 49 million. I'm assuming with 3 hours left, it's going to be just about right aligned with the average 10-day volume. I don't think it has any catalysts on the day. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it has any news or that came out for NEO stock, but it's up close to 4%, trading as high as $58 per share. DraftKings, I saw the DraftKings ad for in the Super Bowl. It was a pretty interesting game. Did you guys watch the Super Bowl at all? Or do you guys follow American football at all? I'm sure you guys do. Let me know in the live chat if you guys did get a chance to watch the Super Bowl. Yeah, it was a great game. It's rugby, not football. But yeah, no, it was a fun game. Brady with, I think his 7th or 6th ring for the Super Bowl. Absolutely crazy. It was great. So DraftKings, we're going to quickly go over DraftKings. I think it's selling off, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it's down just about 2.8%. This is not my chart. This is my chart. So DraftKings, again, getting tagged at that resistance at $64, $65 per share. So this is a previous resistance from October 5th, right? So this is a double top resistance now. So again, all the charts will be updated after the markets close. I don't want to make any changes right now because the markets are still open. Anything can happen in the next 3 hours, which is exactly why I'm not going to tag this as a resistance right now. We can very well break out over this level remainder of the day. So I'm going to wait till 2:30 in the morning or another 3 hours to make changes on these charts. And these charts, again, will be available to everyone who does sign up for the Patreon. So it's going to be accessible for everything. Steve, thank you so much for your commitment and dedication, for your support. I really do appreciate it. It wouldn't be possible without you guys. So thank you. Thank you so much. Baba, we will go over in our daily market update as well. But I'll give you guys an update on this in here shortly as well. I didn't actually get a chance to watch the halftime show. What was it? Siddharth. I don't even know what they did because I just watched the highlights. But anyway, so DraftKings had a huge breakout over $55. So this right here was the resistance we were kind of struggling to break out of. And it actually did also have asymmetrical triangles. So if I were to kind of bring back on the chart, you'll notice that we were kind of making lower highs and higher lows. Boom, tagged our lower high. This right here, higher lows, pushed up, retested our horizontal support, and then had a huge breakout over, right? And this is again in anticipation of New York, California, Florida, all these states that have not yet legalized sports betting and wagering. They're on the table, right? And those markets are going to be huge for DraftKings. And I know that Andrew Cuomo, who's the New York City, they are also thinking about doing that in the future. And that's going to be huge for DraftKings as well. And they also, I think, were the sponsor for one of the ads in the Super Bowl. But definitely the 21 EMA getting tagged and validated at that support, sitting as low as $61 per share. Below that, we've got a really strong support of $55, right? So the R side, the MACD did push up quite a bit, and we did have a sharp decline. We are trading as low as 58, and we did see a bearish crossover for the MACD line below the signal line. So be a little bit cautious at these levels with DraftKings. Of course, if you're holding, if depending on how long you're planning on holding, if it's a long-term play for you, nothing really changes. 2.5%, 3% drops. These are nothing but great buying opportunities, in my opinion, for a lot of the stocks because they have a lot of growth potential in the future, and many of them are just starting to kind of push higher, right? It's just the beginning of, like we saw for Tesla, right? Tesla has been around for well over 10 years. We only saw the growth for Tesla last year. So a lot of the stocks kind of go unnoticed, and their products and services go unnoticed until it's time when they really take off, right? When a lot of investors, a lot of people are actually using their products and services, and it basically just takes off, right? So that's exponential growth, right? That's thematic investing. That's what Ark does. They're very, very big on genomics and biotech, and that's also one of the ETFs that I'm investing in my main portfolio, Ark G. Because I do believe it's going to be like one of the futures that we need to be invested in, right? Biotech, healthcare, medicine, a very, very important sector. And they've basically saved our lives, right? In 2020 with everything that's going on, they've basically worked tirelessly, worked hard. So, everything that we can do to help them is really something that I want to stand by. All right. So I'm kind of losing chain of thought. Which stocks was I gonna analyze? So DraftKings was one of them. I'm gonna go over Baba really quickly. So Alibaba. So Alibaba is pulling back, and now we are starting to consolidate. So it's down about 1%, trading as low as $262. I'm not sure where my trend line went. I had a trend line at 270 or 265 rather. Let me see if it's over here. Yep, so right there it is. Okay, so I have a different chart. And again, I do have a lot of charts. All of them will be easily accessible for you guys, and they will sync well. They should sync well after I make changes. So for Alibaba, we know that they've had a lot of struggle, right, with the Chinese regulators, the US regulators, and they have been down quite a bit from $318 all the way down to $210. And it was down over 33%. Meanwhile, the core business remained strong, right? Meanwhile, they were doing incredibly well. Their business was growing. Singles Day event was phenomenal. They hit a record in the company's revenue sales ever, like the company's history. Their Singles Day event was absolutely crazy, right? We've seen both for JD.com and Alibaba did really, really well. And all of this was due to fear. And this is something that we covered in my last night's video as well. When patterns are trading in a specific way, right? When they're trading in, let's say, a bullish flag or a symmetrical triangle, they can, in the short term, kind of deviate away from those patterns if there's a macroeconomic effect, if there's a broader market sell-off, if there's something that basically affects everything in the markets, right? Similar to what we saw because of the global pandemic. For Alibaba, that was more so about the potential delisting threat from the US government. Trump signed the bill, and they had 3 years to comply with it, with the new accounting requirements. China was looking into Alibaba for all the anti-monopoly, anti-privacy issues. They halted the Ant Group's IPO. Jack Ma went missing. So there were so many things kind of piling on for Alibaba. Meanwhile, it was all driven by fear and uncertainty. And that's, in my opinion, where most of the money is made. When there's a lot of other investors kind of selling the stock, a strong stock with great fundamentals, because of fear, because of uncertainty, right? And I think I put a video out during the first week of January, and basically my price target for Alibaba remained at $300, and I still believe that it does have the ability to hit 300 and go past $300 per share in the future. So right now we're still struggling at $268, $270. You guys will notice that right there is a rejection or a resistance level. So the horizontal red line you guys see on the chart, acting as some type of a resistance that has again previously acted as a lot of resistance here. So let me go ahead and clean up the chart a little bit. So this right here, again, validated resistance here. We were kind of struggling to break out over here, and we are again struggling to break out of this resistance, right? So a lot of consolidation for Alibaba moving forward. It's good because we're trading above our moving averages. It's good because the RSI is coming down. The MACD line is also pulling back. So we're kind of forming a new base, right? So earlier that support or that resistance was here, 242. So that's going to be the horizontal resistance we were kind of struggling to break out of. But once we did, we back tested that old resistance as a new support, and that's exactly what we're doing. This right here was also a resistance for Alibaba, right? Until we finally broke out, and now we're back testing that old resistance as a new support. So that's exactly what we're waiting for, right? We need to see a breakout over 268, $270 per share for us to make new all-time highs, push higher, and maybe even retest $300, $320 per share. But Alibaba, in my opinion, strong company. There's nothing to worry about if you're investing in the long term, and definitely a lot of potential, a lot of growth opportunities for Alibaba. I think they reported their earnings, and it was, I think, really, really good earnings. I need to look into their earnings, most recent quarterly report, but I'll do that as well. So, all right, let's go over. So I'll try to analyze IWM for sure. So that I'll do that. Maybe I'll put a separate video on some of the indices and some of the ETFs, but I'll definitely try to do that as well. And congratulations, that's awesome. TQQQ is up. I know that it's up. I think it's up over 2% because the Nasdaq is up. Let's see. It's up almost 1%, so that's good. Yeah, they actually did a recent split, 2-for-1 split, so they were trading as high as $200 per share. And they're definitely pushing higher, well over $100 per share again. Lemonade, let's take a look at Lemonade, where they are. Is Lemonade red? Yeah, they're red. So they're down just about 1.3%. The low for the day, $142 per share. So I do think that 140 is going to be a very, very strong level of support for Lemonade moving forward. So, all right, so that right there is going to be the complete technical analysis on Lemonade. Again, I've done several videos on it in the past, and I mentioned $140 is going to be a really strong support level to watch. And we are kind of getting validated. So we are so much consolidation sideways, right? So you guys can see that we are basically just like trading inside that box or inside that yellow rectangle, trading sideways. Consolidating 140 is still somewhat getting validated. So let's see the low for the day. Low for the day, 142, so we're almost near the low for the day. The high was 149, so quite a bit of variance, and we are getting rejected by those moving averages, right? So if I were to remove this, we are struggling to break out of the 50 EMA and the 21 EMA, so we do need a break over 150. That's going to be very, very important level for the for Lemonade stock price to break out of. Is going to be $150 per share. So 140, I mean, if it does break below 140, then 125, 126 is going to be the important level to watch, right aligned with the 50 EMA, which again has Lemonade previously validated, right? So going back as far as December 1st, we kind of validated that 50 EMA before pushing higher. So again, this right here was a huge breakout, a jump over 187% for Lemonade. And that right there is going to be somewhat of a support moving forward. Right now, it looks like we are breaking down, breaking below our 21 EMA. That's going to be very, very critical, or a trend reversal for Lemonade moving forward, right? So if you do break down, it's going to be very important to keep a close eye at the next support. Right now, it's going to be 140. That support level right here inside that green rectangle to watch. But if you do break down, 125 would be the next level to watch. And I actually do have some shares of Lemonade as well in my main fund, so I will be kind of adding more shares at 125 for Lemonade. All right, I'm not sure where CCIV is trading, but I will go over that really quickly. So it is down just about 4%. So again, fundamentally speaking, I'm not too sure, the valuation for CCIV. It's a market cap and well over 8.5 billion. I'm not sure who they're merging with, what their earnings look like. And I know there's a rumor about Lucid Motors, but I'm not sure how accurate that is, or where are they with the deal and how far into closing they've already gotten. So from a technical standpoint, I think I covered this in my last night's video. And this is something that we covered, right? So it has a very similar pattern, right? So it pushes up, pulls back down to the 21 EMA, pushes up, comes down to the 2150 EMA, pushes up, comes down to the 21 EMA. We are pushing up. So again, I would not be surprised if you do see a minor pullback down to the 21 EMA. So that right there was a support I think that I've identified in my last night's video, which now has moved up a little bit at $30 for CCIV. Because that's the 21 EMA, right? That's very important. That's a support level that CCIV has validated in the past. Again, that right there, a lot of consolidation at $28, $29 per share before pushing higher once again. So if you do see a minor pullback, that would be the level to watch. I also mentioned the RSI and the MACD a little bit on the overbought side. So, I would be very cautious moving forward. And I wouldn't be surprised if you do see pullbacks for CCIV moving forward down to $29, $30 per share, or even $28 per share. That's a horizontal support for CCIV moving forward. Twitter we will cover in our daily market update. I will definitely put that out as soon as the markets close. All right, let's see what other stocks you guys have. Let's get a quick update on where we are. So I got about 436 viewers and 200 likes. Wow, you guys, 200 on the dot. Can we get to 300? Let's see if we can get 300 likes on this live stream. I know you guys can do it. We've got over 400 people watching, right? Thank you so much for your guys' support. I really do appreciate it. Wow, you guys are awesome. You guys are absolutely amazing. So, all right, let's check out XPEV, Xpeng. So Xpeng is struggling at that support. That right there is going to be inside that symmetrical triangle. So we are barely in the greens, up over 39 basis points. but we are coming from a very oversold level. So we were trading as low as $45, and now we are up over $47, pushing higher up over 38 basis points. And this right here is going to be the symmetrical triangle for Xpeng moving forward. So definitely we pushed up, tagged our lower highs, sold off down to this higher low, pushed up down to this lower high, sold off down to this higher low, and that's exactly where we're trading. So this support level, so the level that you guys see inside that green circle, should be validated on two different fronts. The first one is going to be this horizontal support. The second one should be, in my opinion, this ascending support inside this symmetrical triangle. So that's, again, a very, very important level for Xpeng, right? We need to get validated and we need to break out over these three moving averages, right? Those three moving averages are keeping Xpeng down. So I have an alert right here at over $50, $49.59, because that's going to be very crucial for Xpeng moving forward. A breakout over those three moving averages, very, very important for us to see a breakout over those moving averages, right? So that would essentially represent a trend reversal for Xpeng moving forward, because we have been on this aggressive sell-off, and from its all-time highs we are down, I think, over 60%, right? So we are down over 40%. Merlin, thank you so much for the donation. I'll definitely check out VYGVF. I think it's a very good food company, right? So I'll definitely check that out just after Xpeng. And again, if you guys have some requests, let me know in the live chat, and I'll try to incorporate that in this video right now. But Xpeng finishing it off, this right here, again, very strong support to watch, which is going to be sitting at $47. The RSI and the MACD are incredibly oversold. Even on the daily chart, I think we are looking for a potential cross over the signal line, for the MACD line over the signal line, for the RSI to then start trending higher once again, and then a breakout over the 21 EMA. So right now that 50 EMA is acting nicely as a support. So you'll notice that we are perfectly tagging that 50 EMA, right? So that's going to be the yellow line that's acting as a support. We're somewhat pushing higher, and that 21 EMA is going to be the next level of support that we need to break out of, sitting at $48, $49 per share for Xpeng for any type of a trend reversal moving forward. So let's take a look at VYGF. Oh no, it's different. Okay, it's Voyager. Wow, should be up a lot. It's up over 17%. It's an OTC stock, market cap at just over 1.7 billion. So wonder what the catalyst is on this. So this may be a little bit outdated for Voyager Digital reports. What kind of company is this? Engages in development and commercialization of digital platforms, focusing on enabling users to buy and sell digital assets like cryptocurrencies. Okay. So, I mean, I think this move could come from a catalyst. I'm not sure. I'm not seeing that on the news section for TradingView. Maybe I'll do, if I do like a Google search, I'll be able to see something. But this could also be because of cryptocurrencies in general, right? A lot of the stocks are getting tied to the prices of cryptos and Bitcoin and some other cryptocurrencies and digital assets. And if they're pushing higher, these stocks are pushing higher as well, right? So a huge gap, pushed up over 17%, trading as high as $15.15. From an RSI and MACD standpoint, it does seem a little bit on the overbought side. So, it's no surprise that it's incredibly overbought. So if you do see a bearish crossover, if the RSI starts pulling back, then we can see a potential sell-off or pullback for this stock as well. So you'll notice a very similar pattern, right? So going back as far as January 14th, this right here is exactly when the RSI became overbought. Right, once again, the price was also trading as high as $6 and $7 per share, and we sold off over 40%, trading as low as $2 per share. And the RSI came down, became a little bit on the oversold side, trading as low as 35 before pushing higher. So if you're someone who's looking to start a new position in this, I would be very cautious, because this is a huge gap fill right here between 13.5 and about $15 per share for this stock. So be very cautious. And let me take a look at the monthly chart. So the monthly chart actually does look really, really bullish, right? Really good. And it doesn't look like we're coming from a huge sell-off in the past. The company looks like it IPO'd in 2012, 2013, and it's been kind of consolidating sideways with a lot of volume coming in more recently, right? So a huge breakout to the upside. Again, I can't speak fundamentally because I haven't looked into this company. Let's take a quick look. So quarterly assets at 82 billion. So cash to debt, cash is at 12.6 million, debt is at 1.25, so not too bad there. So price to sales, you'll notice they're trading at 472. So incredibly high price to sales ratio, right? Price to earnings is not available because they're not profitable, I'm assuming. Yeah, so they're generating a net loss of about 4 million with total revenues over 2 million. So again, I would need to do a little bit more research fundamentally to make sense out of the valuation. Price to sales is a little bit high and the valuation does seem kind of skewed to the upside. And obviously this could be coming in from the crypto run that we're seeing for Bitcoin, right? 17%, huge breakout. But on the daily time frame, you'll notice that it kind of validated that 21 EMA and the 50 EMA right here at $4 before taking off. And right now we're seeing a big variance between the 21 EMA and the 50 EMA, right? So it's kind of away from those moving averages. So if you do see a pullback, if you do see some type of a drawdown for this stock, then it wouldn't be the worst opportunity to kind of get in and start a new position, right? But if you're someone who's getting in here, just be a little bit cautious because it's a very overextended from a technical standpoint, and fundamentally it's trading at well over 470 times sales. So Dylan, NEO again will be covered in our daily market update. I will post that as soon as the markets close. I just want to give you guys a quick update. We do have a Patreon now. Finally, I know that a lot of you guys have been commenting on my YouTube videos asking for a way to kind of contribute to my work or donate. It's going to be 3 different tiers, and I'm going to be offering tremendous amount of value. You'll have access to my TradingView charts. They will sync automatically to you. You'll get a link to our Discord, and for Patreon members, it's going to be a private Discord. So we're going to have a free public Discord and then a private Patreon member Discord only. And then the second tier is going to include the growth portfolio that I just started in February. We're going to start with just about $25,000. I'm going to be making a lot of trades in there, and I'm going to be buying more stock. I only have two stocks right now in there, AMD and Visa, and I'll be adding more different stocks as well. I've got a list of whole growth stocks that I want to analyze. You'll get PDFs of my fundamental and my technical analysis on there as well. So there's going to be a lot of value kind of packed into that Patreon. So again, you don't have to sign up. You absolutely don't have to, donate anything. I really do appreciate you guys' support as it is. It's been tremendous amount of value to me, and really, I can't thank you guys enough, right? So again, that's just an option for anyone who wants to make a contribution or who wants to get more involved with our money investing community. We also have Zoom call sessions for 1 hour that we're going to be doing for the third tier. So again, it's an option out there. You don't have to do that at all. So Ryan, NEO, I will cover that in our daily market update. Absolutely. Keep a close eye out for that video as well. So let's take a look where we are at. So we got about 733 people joining now, only 277 likes. Come on. Can we get up to 400 likes? I know you guys can do this. Thank you so much for your support. And we're just getting started. There's going to be a lot of value, a lot of different things included in these live streams, included in a lot of different things that I have planned, right? My goal is to provide you guys with as much value as possible and give you a holistic view on the markets and the stocks, right? It's not just about technical analysis. It's not just about one single catalyst. It's not just about fundamental. It's tying everything together to identify growth, identify opportunities in the markets. And that's my goal, right? That's my goal, to research as much as I can and provide you guys with as much volume, information as I can on the markets and different stocks. So let me see. So, all right, let me see if there's any other requests. We're going to quickly go over Visa and AMD as well. Give me 1 second. Johnny, Apple will also be covered in our daily market update, right? So I will definitely make sure to include that. So thank you so much for joining in. For everyone who's joining in, I'm going to quickly go over what the whole goal is with this growth portfolio, just so you guys know and understand what we're trying to accomplish here. So, all right, let's take a quick look where we are with the likes. 302, 334. All right, so we're good. We're doing well. So again, this right here is going to be the whole goal of this portfolio right now. Today, I think we're down just about $14. That may not be right. So today we are up a little bit over just about $100, and overall we're up just about 185 on this portfolio. This is the whole goal. The whole idea is to basically add, more stocks, well-researched stocks, good companies. Fiverr, I will do that, Marcus, right after I go over this. I will definitely do and go over Fiverr. It's another stock that I actually have in my main fund in this portfolio, so I will be going over that as well. But the whole idea is to actually add more stocks and create a whole growth portfolio around the companies that we analyze, right? That's going to be included in the Patreon as well. So, all right. So Fiverr, ticker symbol FVRR. Fiverr on the day up over 1.4%, definitely pushing higher. A lot of momentum for this stock. And this is also something that we had analyzed in my previous videos. I had essentially called for a really strong support at two different levels, right? The moving averages and the $185 level, which has previously acted as a really strong support. So that's going to be the green rectangle you guys see on the chart. Again, this right here, green rectangle, strong support at 185. We have validated that level. We pushed up, kind of blew the top off of that uptrending channel. We were trading all the way as high as 277. We sold off down to this 200 simple moving average. And this right here has been a huge move higher once again of over 39-40%. I think my average for Fiverr, I think it's at just over 200, a little bit over $200 for Fiverr, but it's trading as high as $278 per share. So definitely we are tagging our higher highs once again right here. So this right here is going to be the higher high. And considering the RSI and the MACD, a little bit on the overbought side. And this is, I'm going to be putting out videos on individual stocks as well. And the whole idea is, when can we enter these stocks, right? When can we buy when it makes sense to buy, right? We're going to do that with Fiverr, AMD, a lot of different stocks, CrowdStrike, Salesforce, all these companies that are going to be well researched fundamentally. We're going to look into some of the ratios, and then technically, where is going to be the next support level? Where can we buy these stocks for the most gains, right? Because buying right here is obviously not going to be the best sort of risk reward trade, right? It's not going to be a great deal considering that it's already moved up close to 40%. The RSI trading as high as 81, the MACD line also pushing higher. So, it's always important to be patient with these stocks. And most of the time, in just in investing and swing trading as well, most of the times it's mostly observing the markets. It's not even trading all that much, right? It's only you're observing the markets. You have your price targets set, you have your buy limits set, and that's it. That's all you're doing is just waiting, right? It's a waiting game, and patience is what ends up paying you the most at the end, right? So we're tagging our high. We are tagging our double top resistance here at highs of $285 per share. So the high was 286, and we could potentially pull back moving forward, considering that the RSI and the MACD are also substantially higher. So, Merlin, that's good to know that they have phenomenal fundamentals. It looks like they do, because I couldn't find any type, like even on the monthly chart, there wasn't any sell-offs. So it's really good that they have great fundamentals. It's just the price to sales just seem a little bit on the overextended side at well over 470. Again, I would need to look into the most quarterly reports for them for us to understand how well they are. Eric, hello, how are you? I'm sorry if I didn't say hello earlier. Sorry about that. So thank you for joining in. Again, make sure that you hit the like button if you guys enjoyed this video and find this helpful. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We talk a lot about fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and kind of the whole idea is to give you guys a holistic view on the markets and individual stocks as well, and primarily identify those key optimal entry points for a lot of the stocks that you guys want to invest in or trade, right? That's the whole idea, and that's kind of like what I'm focusing on. So thank you everyone for joining in. First time here, Eric, thank you so much for joining. So let me know where you guys are joining in from, right? Where are you guys joining in from? What part of the world are you from? Because right now I am in India. It's way past midnight and I'm still running the live stream because I absolutely love working with you guys and enjoy all the support that you guys have given me, right? Andre, hello, how are you? Sai, welcome, welcome, welcome. Steve, it's good to see you. That's absolutely phenomenal. Portland, Oregon, shout out to all of you guys. Phoenix, Arizona, shout out to you. Germany, UK, California, Southern California, Mexico, Portugal. That's awesome. I actually did play a lot of soccer growing up, and Ronaldo was one of my favorite players growing up as well. California, Rita, welcome. Luxembourg, that's awesome. That's great. That's great to know, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that I'm able to offer you as much value and analysis as possible, because that's the whole goal, right? It's not worth your time if you're not getting as much value out of this as you would have hoped, right? So let me know if there's anything that I can do to make this experience better for you. If there's anything that I can sort of, again, do to kind of help you guys out, because that's the whole idea and it's the whole goal that I have, is to help as much as possible, right? Let's take a quick look at the markets. Good evening, Steve. Good evening to you all. Toronto, Canada. Pollock, shout out to you. That's awesome. Larry, I did actually cover a video on VJack and 23andMe. I do have a video on them. Complete fundamental and technical analysis on that stock, their merger, price to sales, EPS. They're not profitable yet, but we're looking at profitability down the line in 2024, 2025 is what I projected, and we kind of were able to formulate a price to earnings, a price to sales, and then of course I did a complete technical analysis on them as well. So, all right, market update. So we are in the greens still. That's good. IXIC 13,940. So we're still pushing higher, almost at 14,000. That's going to be the higher high and the horizontal resistance inside this sort of circle. You guys see up over 60 basis points, and SPX, that's going to be the S&P 500, also up over 40 basis points, rating as high as 3,900. So definitely a lot of momentum coming in for the overall market benchmark. And Wellesley, thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it, and I'm glad the videos have been helpful. I hope that you're doing well and staying safe, and I'm really, really happy to know that your portfolio is doing really well. So thank you for that. Thank you so much. So NNDM Nano Dimension is still pushing up over 10%. Palantir, Square, Nvidia up over 5.5%. Definitely we'll cover that in our daily market updates. All right, Nicholas, I'll check out High Tide. So HYTI. Is it a Canadian stock? So what's the ticker? Is it this one? Is it High Tide, HITIF? Because that one is an OTC stock traded on in the US markets, and then the first two I'm seeing are going to be the Canadian markets. Apple Forever, thank you so much. I really do appreciate your support. Christian, thank you so much for joining the Patreon. So I will give you guys the access to the charts right after I'm done with the live stream. So I'm going to update the charts, and I'll give you guys the link, the public link, where you guys will be able to see all the changes if I make any different changes to the support resistance levels. So it will be available to you guys right after I'm done with the live stream here. So thank you so much for joining in. So again, there is going to be the link down in the description below if you guys want to join in. Again, it's not something that you have to do. It's just if you want to get more involved with the community moving forward. All right, so it is HTIF. All right, so let's take a look here. So 76 cents, up over 22%. A lot of volume, 26 million volume. I wonder what the catalyst was. So what was the catalyst behind this move? I'm not familiar with this stock. Again, I personally don't trade or invest in stocks that are under, $1, sometimes even $5. But definitely similar to the Voyager 1 stock that we looked into. Seems like a really strong play. It seems like the fundamentals are there. Let's take a look. So there you go. Okay, so they are going from a net loss to net income, so they are becoming profitable. So that's actually a really good trend for this company. Balance sheet looks decent. Let's take a look at the cash to debt. So debt is a little bit on the high end, 37 million, almost 37 million. Cash is at 5.6 million. But total asset to total debt is still good. Let's take a look at total current assets over liabilities. So even their current asset over current liabilities, the liquid ratio or the current ratio that we look at is still reasonable. It's not the great, it's not the best, but it's okay. Price to sales is just 2.8. So wow, okay, that's really low. That's low, and they are becoming profitable. That's a strong trend. But what does this company do? So they engage in manufacturing and retail of cannabis accessories. The firm operates through the following segments: wholesale, retail, corporate. Brands includes famous brands. Gotcha. Headquartered in Calgary, Canada. All right. So I think it's a strong company, fundamentally speaking. Again, I'll have to do a little bit more research, but the trend is good. They're going from a net loss to net profit. And definitely looking at a 4-hour chart and the daily chart, it does seem there's a lot of volume kind of kicking in on the stock. Also considering that it's less than $1. So, there's not a huge investment that you need to make to acquire like 1,000 shares or 10,000 shares of this stock. So it definitely has pushed up quite a bit. So going over to the 30-minute time frame, so the first level of support to watch for this stock is going to be sitting right here at close to 67 cents per share. Corey, what's up, my man? Thank you for joining in. Thank you so much for your support and the donation. I really appreciate you. So that 21 EMA, and I actually took your comment, Corey. I really, really appreciate your comment on doing a live stream and having like a chill live stream. And kind of analyze the markets, talk a little bit about different stocks, talk a little bit about different portfolios and what we have going on. So definitely appreciate that. So that right there would be the first support to watch at close to about 67 cents because that is aligned with that more recent support going back as far as February 8th. We kind of validated that before this huge breakout, and we are kind of consolidating and pulling back on the 30-minute time frame. So that 21 EMA, again, is going to be very, very important for us to watch all the way down to that 50 EMA, which is going to be sitting at 60 cents. For this stock, High Tide. Thank you so much, Corey. I really do appreciate that. And I'm really, really glad that you enjoy the videos and you enjoy the content. And that's the whole goal. Again, that's the whole idea behind this, is to give you guys what you're here for, right? As much value, as much information, give a whole holistic view on the markets and the stocks so you guys can make best decisions for your trading or investing goals, right? That's the whole idea behind this. So that's awesome. Thank you so much. Let's see where we are with the stream. So 392 likes. So let's see if we can get up to at least 400 likes. Come on. Yeah, right? So that's going to be very, very important. At least 400 likes is going to be great for the stream. And we got over 600 people watching. So that, again, thank you so much for the support. Peyton, man, looking forward to our Zoom call, man. I love your skits. Your skits are so funny, especially the lemonade one. That had me dying. Seriously, guys, go check out Peyton. Peyton, how do you say your last name? I'm really sorry, but I can't. But anyway, guys, go check out Peyton's channel. It's absolutely hilarious. And he also actually does a lot of skits. So it's going to be humorous. It's going to be funny with a lot of information about finance, investing as well. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely check out his channel. Great guy, really funny guy. So I think it's his name is what the channel is going to be. So definitely shout out to him and check out his channel for sure. So, all right, let's take some other requests. I'm going to do this for maybe 10 more minutes because I'm really getting sleepy. It's about 12 past 20 at night, so almost 12:30. And then I'll wake up like in 2 hours to kind of wrap up the markets, see where they closed, and then definitely, give you guys a market update on the 10 to 12 stocks that we cover. So, all right, let's go over Qualcomm. So up just about 43 basis points. It's been selling off. All right, so yesterday what we analyzed was QuantumScape, and this right here is Qualcomm. So there's two different companies. I was kind of confused one time. But it has been on an ascending pattern, right? So it's been on an aggressive ascending pattern since March when it was trading at $60. It pushed up close to over 183%. Let me take a quick look on how they did with their earnings, because that has been the main driver for this drop, right? So let me go ahead and pull this up really quickly. All right, so Qualcomm falls short on revenue in first earnings report since CEO first announced. So this was updated on February 3rd, so more recently. Adjusted earnings beat expectations, but Qualcomm's sales were slightly lower than Wall Street expected, sending the stock lower in extended trading. Sales were up 63% year over year, while earnings grew 119%. Like, powered by increased chip sales tied to surge in demand for 5G handsets. Now, let me see what the revenue estimates were. 8.23 billion versus 8.27. So I think that's a little bit of an overreaction, don't you think? Let me know in the comment section what you guys think in the live chat. What do you guys think about Qualcomm right now? I mean, the sales were up 63% year over year, while earnings grew 119%. They beat expectations when it came down to EPS. So, operating income, gross margins, net income, solid growth there. They're becoming a little bit more profitable as they become more efficient over time. So both revenue earnings showed strong year-over-year growth as Qualcomm's business has been propelled by smartphones adopting 5G, requiring its chips and intellectual property, as well as electronics boom during the pandemic. It's planning for between $7.2 billion and $8 billion in sales in the current quarter, stronger forecast than analysts tracking stock expected. However, Qualcomm's forecast sales for its licensing division between 1.25 and 1.45 billion for the current quarter, a bit soft compared with the analyst expectations of 1.43 billion. So chip sales grew strongly. Qualcomm revealed on Wednesday, propelled by a 79% year-over-year growth in handset chips, $4.22 billion in the quarter ending in December. And Qualcomm's business is closely tied to new handsets that use 5G chips. So again, I mean, in my opinion, this is a bit of an overreaction. So let's look at the pattern right now, right? A lot of volume coming in. The RSI, the MACD, incredibly oversold. And this right here is going to be a strong support level for Qualcomm. So right here, that's going to be sitting at close to $140 per share. In fact, I'll actually be adding some alerts to see if I want to include this in our growth portfolio. So, I'll create an alert over 147. Create an alert over below 144. So incredibly oversold, right? This is a drop from our all-time highs of 167, and we're down over 13.5, almost 14%. So definitely, trading below the moving averages. So that does shift a little bit of the trend. So you'll notice that going back, the Qualcomm stock has validated that 200 simple moving average very, very consistently, right? So every time we've seen a pullback, that 200 SMA acting as a support here. For Qualcomm, this right here acting as a support a couple times here, right? This right here also acting as a support before breaking down with huge volume after the earnings. So a more horizontal support to watch is going to be sitting at $141 per share. So I will go ahead and put a price tag right there. If we do see a retest down to that low, I would personally be very inclined to starting a new position. Right now we're trading at 146. So, and then going over to the daily chart, we're trading below our 200. We're trading below our 21 EMA and our 50 EMA. So that does seem a little bit of a trend reversal for Qualcomm. But this right here is going to be double top resistance for it at 167, right? That's the level where it's gone rejected, not once, but twice. So right there. So definitely, I mean, it's a little bit of an overreaction in my opinion, right? Because they reported 63% growth in sales and top line revenues, and 119% specific to that segment in chips. So definitely a lot of momentum for that, right? Corey, I'm going to actually cover NIO stock later in the daily market update. I'm going to go over the cup and handle pattern as well for that stock, but definitely a 5% move is very significant for NIO. It's up a little bit over 3.5%. So trading is at $58.87 right now. So we're still kind of getting tagged at $59, right? So the high for the day for NEO, I believe, was $59 and change. So we're still kind of getting rejected at that resistance. That's very, very important for NEO moving forward, is a breakout over $59. But for Qualcomm, 141, the next support, we are trading below those two moving averages. So a breakout over these two moving averages kind of regains controls for the bulls and a potential trend reversal once again. Now, this could also be something like Salesforce. If you go over to ticker symbol CRM, Salesforce is kind of struggling to kind of push up again after this huge sell-off, right? This also happened with Salesforce, right? After the earnings came out, we were trading as high as $265, $266 per share, and we sold off close to over 15%, almost 17%, trading all the way as low as $220 because they missed revenues by 0.5% or something, right? So a bit of an overreaction, but again, it's now back up to over 237. It's pushed up close to over 9.5%, almost 10%. So yeah, I mean, a bit of an overreaction in my opinion for Qualcomm. So definitely keep a close eye at those support and resistance levels. And I could see a trend reversal in the future and a breakout over those two moving averages for Qualcomm. All right, so let's do one more stock, whichever stock you guys want. I'll do one more stock for everyone, and then I'll catch some sleep, and then I'll work on the daily market update. So again, thank you so much for tuning in and joining right now. We've got about 619 people, so definitely, thank you very much for your guys' support. I really do appreciate it. All right, let's take a look at ZOM. Oh my God, up over 34%. I think I did hear about this stock. I would really need to look into this fundamentally, and from a technical standpoint, this is nothing but an overextended pattern right now. I mean, the moves already happened, right? So, and I don't know if, let's look at the monthly chart. Okay, so yeah, I mean, we're pretty much tagging our resistance from these levels. But also, like, this is coming in from 2017, 2018 on the monthly chart. You'll notice that we kind of died down all the way down here. Huge amount of volume coming in, and then a huge breakout over those levels. But this right here, the resistance to keep in mind for this stock moving forward. Even on the monthly chart, the RSI and the MACD are a little bit on the overbought side. I mean, we don't see that very often for a lot of stocks, right? They don't become overbought on the monthly chart very often. So this is a break move, right, for this company. So we're up from 9 cents to over $2.64, up over 2,800%. So definitely worth looking into from a fundamental standpoint. Development stage company, it creates products for companion animals by focusing on the unmet needs of clinical veterinarians. Let's look at the fundamentals here really quickly. Okay, so I'm not seeing any revenue for them. The balance sheet is strong. I'll give them that. So the balance sheet really is strong. Cash and debt positions are really strong. So cash sitting well over 52 million with total debt just over 1.4 million. But keep in mind that that is a resistance to keep in to watch moving forward. It closed at 263, 264, 265 is going to be the high for the day. High for this candle was 260, and the high for this candle is 298. So that's going to be the next resistance levels to watch moving forward for that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found this helpful. We broke down a lot of stocks. And again, the Patreon is going to be down in the description below. You don't have to sign up, but this is only for people who want to kind of get involved more with the community and basically make a contribution for all the work that we've been doing to put this together, right? So there's going to be a lot of different analyses. There's going to be a lot of different fundamental and technical reports, PDFs, a lot of research behind the growth portfolio. access to my TradingView charts, access to the Discord, and one-on-one meetings on Zoom as well, right? That's what we're going to be scheduling moving forward. Although it's going to be limited, if you do kind of exceed the limit, we're going to do like group calls instead of one-on-ones because of the time limitations. But thank you so much for joining in. Let's see where we are with the stream. We've got about 449 likes. So 592 people. So thank you so much, guys, for joining in. I really do appreciate your guys' support. Watch for the daily market update. I will go over all the stocks. I'll go over Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Neo, Palantir, Nvidia. All those stocks will be covered in our daily market update. So thank you so much for your guys' support. And I really, really do appreciate that. And I hope you guys are having a great day and a great night wherever you guys are watching from. And I will see you guys in the next video. So thank you so much.